And I'll talk more about the damages and the challenges in Raja Ampat's case. We have with us in the studio Professor Melda Kamil Ariadno, an international law expert. Hello, and how are you?
Hello. Great. Thank you.
Now, let's jump into questions. How do you see the damage overall from this incident? How is it?
So if you see just now from the TV that can compare between the before the damage and after the damage, we can tell that the damage is very severe. And actually, if you think about the coral reef, it needs 100 years to build, to really establish like this position. So I think we cannot just ignore the damage, and I think we need more than just having a compensation.
Okay. Before we go there, why were the ships allowed in the waters in the first place? Now, is that legal in the beginning?
Yes. So that's actually my very question as well. Whether the government is actually allow a foreign vessel to come into the port, but not just stay in the port, but to go to another point, in Indonesian water. So what happened was, my guess is actually this ship came to the port of Sorong, for instance, or Jayapura, but then they went to the area of Raja Ampat. And the question we need to raise up actually, who gave the permission to this ship, to the cruise ship, a bigger one in this one, and go around in the Raja Ampat, which is the coral reef side.
But legally, they're allowed to go around between ports to ports in Indonesia, or is not allowed in the beginning?
Well, Indonesia actually applying what we call cabotage principle. So this cabotage principle actually not allow any foreign vessel to go from one point to another point in Indonesia. So all the cruise or the navigation through one point to another point shall be done by Indonesian vessel, so
okay.
Flying Indonesian flag. So in these things, the Caledonian sky going from one point to another point, which is Raja Ampat. So I think it's already against the cabotage principle.
But in the beginning, how do you see, if they're not allowed to go into Indonesian waters, then do we have the infrastructure or the system, the navigation system, to allow Indonesian-only vessels to transport these goods or people?
Well, actually, we need to see, there is a presidency regulation number 105 of 2015, but again, there shall be an interpretation to this presidency regulation, because this regulation mentioned about to allow the foreign yacht to go into Indonesian port, and there are certain designated port to go, including Sorong port. So, well, I'm not sure that this cruise ship can be interpreted as the foreign yacht. Then it can go to the to the Indonesian port. If they could go to Sorong port, there is no principle or stipulation under this president regulation mentioned about going from this port to another point within Indonesian water.
Okay. Now the SOP for these kind of procedures, what kind of articles of law can we charge upon the captain and the company? Has it happened before?
Yes. So well, maybe it has been happened before, but not as massive as this, because it happened in the biodiversity area.
Right.
Could be called as the world natural site, and then the damage is very massive. So it invites a lot of news and attention, not just from local, from Indonesian news, but from the world. And if you see from the world news, it says that this is actually irreparably damaged. So the damage cannot be easily repaired. So of course the compensation should be asked, shall be asked by the government to the owner, to the company, and also we should be able to penalize the captain. But I don't think it would be enough, because the things that we need to pursue is actually to prevent this to happen again.
And how do you do that?
Yeah, so in my point of view, if Indonesia would like to be the maritime fulcrum, right, the center of the maritime state in the world, it means that we need to intensify and to really, build up our capacity and capability to utilize the maritime resources. Okay. And that's not just to go for fishing. drill oil and gas in the marine area, but we also need to utilize the navigational route by our own vessel, either fishing vessel or the merchant vessel, including the cruise ship.
Okay. What about the buoys? I believe that are ready lighthouse also something to sort of prevent the ships from coming to shallow waters, or international law is that helping?
Yeah, actually there are certain requirements that shall be provided to the vessel navigating in the water. So first, of course, navigational aid. That's including the buoy and the lighthouse, and the chart, and also weather forecast, and the information about the low tide and high tide. So things what happened in Raja Ampat, this captain, which is foreign captain, right? Maybe he didn't know about the situation. And in fact, if he didn't know that situation, he's not supposed to go to that area. So why not, having our own cruise ship to bring these, foreign tourists, go, wherever the site may be in Indonesia, but really served by Indonesian cruise ship. Then it will be really intensify the capability of Indonesia to have services in the maritime tourism.
Now, is it a problem that to sort of emphasize our territory for Indonesia in our waters? Has it been a problem, and do you think we should put more emphasis in this is our border, no foreign ships should come in?
Well, we cannot actually forbid any foreign vessel to come in. They have the right to go through our Indonesian water.
But not stop?
Not stop. So they have the right of innocent passage or the right of archipelagic sea lane passage, but this means it goes through our water. They cannot stop. If they need to stop, then all the right of passage will be vanished. So they need to get permission from our Indonesian government.
This proceeding, can it be taken to international courts if required? And what's the SOP there?
Yeah, well, there are two kind of compensation that can be asked, First, we can ask to the private sector, which is the companies, the owner of this ship. But if the owner cannot, doesn't want to cooperate with us, then we can ask the attention of the country, which is the flag state. But unfortunately, I think the flag state is Bahama, right? Bahama now as well, sometimes could be like a flag of convenience. So maybe not so responsible to the vessel flying its ship, its flag.
What does that mean, a flag of convenience? So what do you mean by that?
Well, flag of convenience means, the country that gives the flags to any vessel, not really responsible, supervising this vessel not to infringe any law applicable in the water, including the law of the sea and the local law owned by the country that they are navigating in.
All right, Melda, thank you so much for your thoughts. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.